A very good evening to you all. Thank you for joining us for the 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. My name is Wadulo Arnold Mark, and it's going to be running for the next 1 hour. So do sit tight. Let's give you the news in detail. The 2026 Kabaka birthday run took place at Lubiri in Kampala, attracting thousands of participants in support of HIV and AIDS awareness. Crowds gathered at Lubiri as early as midday, with major roads around the area filled with runners and supporters ahead of the event. These are the highlights.
Excitement built up as participants waited for the arrival of the Kabaka. Katikiro Charles Peter Maiga arrived first, followed shortly by the Kabaka, who was warmly received amid loud cheers from the crowd. The Kabaka greeted officials, ministers, and invited guests, and later took time to interact with participants and take photographs. He later flagged off the run, which included 21-kilometer, 10-kilometer, and 5-kilometer categories. In his remarks, Charles Peter Maiga reminded participants of the importance of the run in promoting HIV/AIDS awareness.
Kabaka's birthday is not merely personal to him. It is directly relevant to all of us who subscribe to the heritage of the Kingdom of Uganda. And the Kabaka wants us to use his birthday as a platform to promote good health. This time round, like the last 7 years, we've been fighting HIV/AIDS, especially the men who should be the vanguards in the fight against HIV/AIDS. We encourage testing, we encourage taking medication, we encourage abstinence, especially for the young and married people.
He also urged unity among the people and warned against attempts to divide the kingdom or weaken Buganda's cultural values. Dignitaries, including foreign diplomats and corporate leaders, praised the Kabaka for his efforts in fighting HIV/AIDS and promoting health awareness.
On behalf of Airtel Uganda, I want to wish Kabaka a very happy birthday. Enjoy the run and finish strong. Thank you. Kabaka, Kabaka bwa Buganda. Na elisinde gino. Kibare kitibwa jendi okwetabamo emirundi etano kati.
Medical teams from Kampala Hospital provided emergency support to participants during the run.
The team is available. We are helping with first aid, but more importantly, in our fight against HIV, as a man, I'm also taking up the mantle to make sure that I come out to fight alongside the Kabaka and HIV by 2030.
Organizers and participants say the event continues to promote fitness, unity, and the fight against HIV/AIDS across Uganda.
We are very grateful to the Kabaka of Uganda and the Kingdom of Uganda for giving us this platform to remind men to join us in fighting HIV/AIDS. We are very grateful. We'll continue to do this and to keep the conversations going.
I want to thank Kabaka for also coming through to support this initiative and see this cause to champion the fight of HIV in Uganda.
My message to my fellow Ugandans, let's fight AIDS. By year 2030,
I've come here to Lubiri to join Kabaka in celebrating his 71 years of age and to fight HIV.
I want to encourage all the people out there, please participate. This is a purpose-driven run. It is promoting unity, culture and diversity.
Relatedly, I and M-Bank Uganda, who are the official bank partners, reiterated commitment to supporting impactful initiatives, especially those geared towards building healthier and more resistant communities. The bank vows to leverage on its 4 corporate social responsibility pillars of enabling and giving economic empowerment, education, skills development, and environmental conservation.
Subjects of the Kabaka in Western Uganda have joined the rest of the country to mark the 2026 Kabaka birthday run. The run was held in Mbarara City, bringing together participants from Ankole and Kigezi. The event was led by Hassan Mutasa Kafero, who said the run promotes unity, health awareness and the fight against HIV/AIDS. He also called on the public to welcome Charles Peter Maiga, who is expected to visit the region with a message from the Kabaka.
Katikkiro buli wabasinkana abajjukiza omulango ogwo gwa Kabaka okuba nti baguteeka mu nkola babe nti tebeerabira era n'agamba abantu baagala kujjukiza bulijjo era buli waagira ayogerako kimu bibiri ng'aga nti bannange mwekuume obulwadde tebuyita walala buyita mu kweyisa bulungi nakwekuumira patanaze bammwe obutadate mukwandaaza nakubona byalo wazira okwekuumira ku bantu bammwe mulabe nti obutukumakuma n'okutwongera amaanyi n'okutubudaabuda eno gye tuwangaalira era badde ajja akikola era nga bwe mbagambye wali mu nnaku 2-3 tujja kuba naye era nga atwetikidde obubaka okuva
Kasirimu naffe ng'Abaganda ffenna we tuli gwe mulimu omukulu ennyo gwe tulina okukola okulwanyisa obulwadde bwa siriimu era nga mbalala esinga obulwadde bwa siriimu bannange abavubuka mbakuutira mwekuume kubanga obulwadde tebuwangaalikika nabwo.
Saba abavubuka n'abantu abakulu ezo endwadde tugezeeko nnyo okugoberera okulaba nti zeeyongerayo okusaasaana mu ggwanga lino n'okuzikendeeza.
Era emisinde gyo tegindeka, buli misinde egibeerawo nteeka okugidduka kuba giddukirira Kabaka.
Olw'okusiima n'atuterawo entegeka okulaba nti buli mwaka tukuza amazaalibwa ge tubeera nti tukuŋŋaanya ssente okudduukirira Abaganda baffe. Bwe tutyo naffe bannambalala olwaleero bwe tulabise nti twegasse ku mulanga Ssaabasajja bwe yatukubiriza era tudduse.
And in more news, the Vice President of Uganda, Jessica Lupo, has hailed St. Augustine's Student Center at Makerere University for grooming leaders that steer the country to development. She said that since its founding in 1941, St. Augustine Chapel has enhanced the academic life of Makerere University. Alupo and alumnus of Makerere University said it has been a place where intellect meets faith, where questions meet prayer, and where pursuit of knowledge is guided by the light of the gospel. She was addressing St. Augustine Catholic community at Makerere University during celebrations to mark 85 years of existence. The Thanksgiving Mass was led by the Archbishop of Kampala Diocese, Paul Semolgerere.
Christ our Lord.
Amen.
This sacred place has stood not merely as a building of worship, but as a spiritual home for generations of students, staff, and alumni. Within these walls, countless young men and women have encountered God, discovered purpose, formed lifelong friendships, and received the moral and spiritual grounding that has shaped their journeys in the world. Since its founding in 1941, St. Augustine Chapel has finally enhanced the academic life of Makerere University. It has been a place where intellect meets faith, where questions meet prayer, and where the pursuit of knowledge is guided by the light of the gospel. We celebrate today not only the passage of time, but the legacy of lives transformed. We remember with gratitude the chaplains, the priests, the religious, including lay leaders who dedicated and nurtured this community. We honor the alumni who carry the values formed here into society. And we commend the present leadership for preserving and strengthening this noble heritage. This chapel has witnessed history. It has stood through seasons of change in our nation and our university. It has provided comfort in times of uncertainty, guidance in moments of decision, and hope in periods of challenge. Its endurance is a testimony to the power of faith lived in the community. As we mark this milestone, we are reminded of the words of St. Augustine. You have made us for yourself, O Lord, and our hearts are restless until they rest in you. These words have found living expression here for 85 years. To the students present, this chapel is your inheritance. May you not only pass through it, but be shaped by it. May you allow this place to form your conscience, deepen your compassion, and strengthen your commitment to serve humanity. To the alumni, your presence is a living testimony that what happens here endures far beyond graduation. And to the clergy and leadership, your stewardship ensures that this flame of faith continues to burn brightly for future generations. As we look to the future, may St. Augustine Chapel continue to be a beacon of faith in the academic community, a sanctuary of prayer and reflection, a center for moral and spiritual formation, and a bridge between faith and scholarship. And as a reminder that true education forms both the mind and the soul. On this joyous occasion, I congratulate the entire St. Augustine Chapel community for this milestone. May God bless the work that has been done here, and may He bless the work that is yet to come. I thank the St. Augustine community again for giving me the opportunity this morning to break the ground for the project which we are fundraising for. And may that ground be blessed for generations and generations to come. So, Your Grace, His Excellency the President, has extended to the project 30 million Uganda shillings. In addition to that, he asked me to return with a full profile of the project with the bills of quantities attached, so that he can continue working with us the journey until the project is completed.
And in more UBC news tonight, the newly elected NRM members of parliament say that the Chankwanzi NRM retreat has empowered them on issues of governance and accountability. A section of MPs said that the retreat has exposed them to the dynamics of development to perform after their inauguration.
We have three important topics this afternoon I would like to give you this simple analysis. This will help you understand that some areas are lucky to be having some good leaders and other areas are really, really disadvantaged to be having some bad leaders and corrupt leaders. For example, when you look at Kabare district, it was given 1 billion and it had planned to work on 244 kilometers. And they were able to work on all the 244 kilometers because every kilometer was planned to use between 12 millions and 15 millions. So for them, they used all their money and achieved all the targeted kilometers. The same applied to when you look at Kasanda in Central Region. Kasanda was given 1 billion. It had planned for 503. They did not do all the 503, but at least they did 464, which is understandable. It is a good thing that they did. Now look at my Masaka. Masaka district was given the same amount of money, 1 billion, and they had planned 33 kilometers, and they show that they did 33 kilometers, and we have the worst road networks in the district. What does this show? This clearly shows that those districts that are led by the opposition, they do it deliberately to frustrate government programs and projects such that the locals will hate. They will see no service delivery. It will look as if government is doing nothing. Explain this.
Questions about roads. The president tasked the team from Ministry of Works to come and answer our questions. It is today that we got information that actually government provides 1 billion per year specifically for maintenance of roads. Maintenance, not even opening of new roads, maintenance of district roads. Now, from the information that we are getting, the ceiling is that for 1 kilometer, a district is supposed to use between 12 to 15 million. And that is particularly for maintenance. Now, it was so shocking that some districts are actually opening more kilometers, because there is a district like Kasanda which opened up over 456 kilometers of roads using the same money. And then there are districts like Nakaseke, for them they opened only 99 kilometers. Okay, they put some swamps, because when you see Kabare, they also opened up some swamps, which is actually measuring up. So I think it is very, very important, because now the Ministry of Works has given very clear guidelines, and they are tasking us as members of Parliament to make sure that we are able to give guidance and really play the oversight role to make sure that that 1 billion is able to actually deliver results as far as road maintenance is concerned.
And in more UBC News tonight, health experts in northern Uganda are raising alarm over the rising cases of sickle cell disease, with cultural practices now being cited as a possible driver of this crisis. Doctors say that in Uganda, over 20,000 babies born with the condition each year, with northern Uganda carrying a heavier burden. Let's take a look.
Health experts in northern Uganda have issued a strong warning to cultural leaders against splitting clans, saying the practice is increasing the risk of marriages between close relatives.
This kind of division in clans has brought many young people now getting married to would-be sisters. You find they have the same gene pool, and majority of them are already carriers, and once they get married, definitely there's a high chance that they are going to get a sickle among the children they will deliver.
Dr. Andrew Dur describes the situation as worrying, noting that Lira Regional Referral Hospital is currently managing over 1,500 patients living with the sickle cell disease, making it the region's main treatment center.
We also want to encourage our religious leaders, traditional leaders, to tackle the issues of sickle cell from first principles early enough, so that they avoid giving birth to sicklers and adding on the burden.
Early intervention saves lives, Parents are urged to visit the nearest health facilities early for timely testing, diagnosis and care.
When a baby is born in our unit, we are supposed to do testing for sickle cell. Sometimes these patients are discharged prematurely before all these testings are done.
With the support from the Catherine Field Sickle Cell Initiative, efforts are now underway to strengthen newborn screening and trace affected children through the village health teams.
We are strengthening the already existing system for newborn screening for sickle cell. If you would recall, about a month ago, the ministry launched newborn screening program. But also it helps us to identify some of these babies who are lost to follow up. Now we are having a training here for the VHTs. Now these VHTs, they are attached to about 5 children within the community, those who will be born, those who are not yet born. So they will follow them up to their families.
So we are there to give them the counsel, to comfort them, and to tell them, yes, this battle can be fought.
Early signs of sickle cell disease in children includes yellowing of the eyes, frequent pain episodes, swelling of hands and feet, slow growth and repeated infections.
For neonates and other children, you will tend to discover that they tend to cry a lot in the night.
Sickle cell disease is a public health concern in Uganda, with over 20,000 babies born with the condition each year. Northern Uganda carries a heavier burden, with some districts recording a prevalence rates far above the national average. Ediulwa, UBC News.
Uganda National Bureau of Standards is advocating for producers of locally made menstrual hygiene products to acquire standardization certificates in order to open up local and international markets for their products. In December 2017, Uganda established the Uganda Standard 1782-2017 for reusable sanitary pads, setting requirements for quality, safety and testing methods. I had a chance to interact with the stakeholders. The lack of standardized, locally made menstrual health products in Uganda has affected their accessibility to formal commercial outlets like supermarkets and retail shops. There is need for accessible and affordable varieties.
So Uganda is a very youthful country. 73% are below the age of 30. We know that as far as period poverty is concerned, up to 64% of girls miss school because of period poverty.
Period poverty is the inadequate access to menstrual hygiene products, sanitation facilities, and education due to unaffordability.
When you're in Kampala or one of Uganda's larger towns or cities, you see a greater diversity of products than we used to see in the past, which is a great sign. It shows that Uganda's menstrual health market is developing. But what we're noticing is that expansion of the market is really limited to the expansion of SKUs and brands within a category, which is the disposable single-use products. Yet many menstrual product innovations exist.
Retail shops and supermarkets are prohibited from selling unstandardized products to protect consumers from health risks.
We have a standard for reusable sanitary towels, US 1782, 2017. That's when it was published. And for a company to sell in the supermarkets, the company has to be certified against that standard. Now, previously, we've not been, let me say, the cooperation between standards and then different bodies, because for most of these products, it's NGOs which distribute them. And previously, NGOs have not really paid that keen interest on meeting standards. But the story has changed. A number of NGOs are now coming up, and they require different manufacturers to be certified.
Uganda is contributing to the development of an ISO standard to motivate all producers of menstrual hygiene products to open doors for broader markets. Wadulo, Arnold for UBC News. And in more UBC News, Pastor David Kagwa for Mukono Diocese has expressed concern over witchcraft among school children nowadays, which has failed many to reach their goals. He emphasized that students no longer want to prepare for examinations after being misled by their parents. He was speaking during a students' prayer service at Homeland Schools, Lugazi.
We are in a generation where it is evident you find things like witchcraft in schools, and this is being sponsored by parents themselves, and they're telling them this is how you're going to succeed, and they take them to diviners and witch doctors, and some of them are learning this stuff from their fellow students, but of course these are being nurtured by their parents and those sorts of relationships around them. So bad company corrupts good morals. This is what we teach in the Bible, and we are telling them that these are things that they've gotten into cut fellowship with. How can a parent prepare, organize, and save money to give to their child or student so they can go and rig exams? This is pathetic, and it is corrupting our moral fabric, and this is why you're finding that corruption is basically institutionalized and embedded in the very fabric of our community and societies. So these are things that our students ought to hold very dear to their lives.
For the senior ones, the journey has started. Primary was just helping you to get a bursary. In fact, when you look at the trend today, when you get a bursary, it helps you to get a school in senior one. And senior one, whatever you're training yourself now is what you will be.
Ng'abaana abali abapya abava mu masomero ag'enjawulo abava mu maka ag'enjawulo twayise abantu ba Katonda ba reverends ab'amadiini ag'enjawulo okujja okubasabira nga y'engeri yokka ffe nga Lugazi Homeland Schools gye tusobola oteekateekamu abaana baffe okusookera ddala okutya Katonda.
The Chairman Council of Elders at Luwero Secondary School, Matthias Senfuka, has called for unity of purpose among all students to achieve success. He was speaking at an annual general meeting in Luwero Town Council, Luwero District.
Where needy students used to go during our time, needy students would go there, they plant eucalyptus trees and they pay fees through that arrangement. But that project had somehow gone bad. The head teacher has informed us that he has embarked on planting new trees.
Promote the image of and achievements of Luwero SS as ambassadors. Mr. Patron, every time exams are released, there is a very hot debate. How has our school performed? And even some people go ahead to say, now the president is quiet. Even other members of the executive are quiet, yet they work there. But before these exams start, we knock at resource and we say, can we take some success cards? The members go quiet, quiet, quiet. But the exams are released and the members want the performance in 10 minutes, even when the director of studies is just computing it.
But you are coming to share with other members. So this person must be very good at listening. This person must be very good at lobbying, because this is a meeting. You must have lobbying skills. There must be a way you convince others that please, Engineer Gatete was convincing us about increasing from 10,000 to 30. He knows what he went through to come up with 20. Some people are saying, no, let's remain with the 10. He couldn't lose his cool, not until we reached a consensus of the 20,000. So the lobbying, the negotiation skills, but most importantly, we also need to widen our networks.
One of the things I've appreciated as I'm growing up in my career is that I have learned and gotten the expertise to do grant writing and resource mobilization. And with the networks that I've established, my PhD is sponsored by Mastercard Foundation. It likes entrepreneurship that has impact on the vulnerable communities. So when I write this grant and then we see how we can leverage, I have a dream of bringing a digital classroom, a digital studio here at Luwero SS, where teachers can go and record their classes on smart TVs. They can write, calculate numbers, they send to the students, and students can receive these classes at the comfort of their homes.
When you don't use Momo, you are forced to quarrel.
Mama, balance? Eh? Ah, Mama, nkwenye nkumitano.
Ompa ile kumibiri.
Abantu abakuluma atandisa obuyayi mwena.
Obuyayi obuliga.
Iwe.
Ngobi yanko ba
sente dange nizade kolera ngobi nakolera sente dange.
Save yourself from quarreling. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3# to pay and enjoy zero charges below 5K. That's the power of Momo.
Some people think when a woman starts leading in business, the home will suffer. But many families are discovering the opposite.
Before, I worked hard in our business, but I feared making big decisions. I was worried people would say I was disrespecting my husband. Then I joined the group project, where I received training, business support, and coaching that helped me plan better, manage money wisely, and make decisions with confidence. Today, I lead with confidence in my business. I contribute more at home, support our family needs, and help reduce the burden on my husband. I'm not competing with my husband, I'm standing with him.
And our marriage has not weakened. It has grown stronger. We understand each other better, we plan better, and our family is better off because her voice counts.
When a woman is supported to lead, the family can move forward.
The GROW project is empowering women with skills, confidence, and support to make informed decisions that strengthen their families and grow their businesses. Respect her voice, support her choices. For more information, contact your district or city GROW project focal person or call 0800 307 777. The GROW project is a government initiative implemented by the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development and Private Sector Foundation Uganda with support from the World Bank.
Step into elegance, step into confidence, step into La Vie Boutique. Located at Grand Imperial Hotel, Shop 6 and 8, right behind Bank of Uganda, La Vie Boutique brings you high-class corporate and casual wear for men. From sharp designer suits and crisp shirts to stylish casual t-shirts, tracksuits, shoes and accessories, we've got everything to make you stand out. Call us on 0772 419 181 or 0705 555 558. La Vie Boutique, where class meets style.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. Uganda has launched a nationwide study on livestock emissions. The study brings together the National Agricultural Research Organization, the World Bank, and the Ministry of Agriculture. It aims to measure emission levels, assess environmental risks, and improve livestock waste management. More details in this report.
And the temperature.
Depends because of enteric fermentation. You know, what we call enteric fermentation is, all of you know cattle, not so? When the cattle is eating and eating and chewing the cud is producing the gases, and they come from the stomach. That's one. When it's excreting, it's the stomach. And then manure that we get out. Most of you have seen the manure, and when you're going to remove it, it has that whatever comes out of it comes with a lot of nitrates and methane emissions coming out. And then they go off to the sky and create what they call the global warming problem.
Livestock Research Institute, Iriri, and I'm based here in Uganda. I'm a researcher, and I research around manure management. And manure, first of all, is an important resource. It can be used to fertilize our soils, but also it has environmental impact, negative environmental impacts. Like it's one of the major sources of greenhouse gas emissions in Uganda. So for us we are required as a country, because we signed the Paris Agreement, we have to report the amount of greenhouse gas emissions which cause climate change. How much are we emitting as a country? So for us to report that, we need data. And that's what I've been working towards, to generating data which can be used to quantify the emissions, the greenhouse gas emissions from manure in Uganda.
The MRV system is important so we can actually see what is the productivity of livestock and what are the emissions of livestock. And when we do different interventions, it will allow us to look what are productivity increases for these livestock and how does it translate into emission reductions. The presentation I made yesterday was on MRV systems and how ILRI can support Uganda doing MRV systems. So it's about the different steps that are involved in data collection, intervention design, helping do this co-design interventions, and how we're going to track the intervention implementation on farms, and then also how we translate that into production gains and mitigation.
A measurement, reporting and verification system that can identify the areas where there are weaknesses leading to the emissions from livestock. So some of the areas that can be improved, things like the feeding, which is very critical because the emissions are mainly from the feeds that the animal consume. If the animal is eating good quality feeds, then it means the emissions levels are going to be low. So using a lower or a basic methodology will not give us those kind of levers to identify the areas where we can improve.
And
Dairy experts warn the public against consuming raw milk, citing serious health risks. They advise consumers to take processed milk, which meets safety standards.
Raw milk, still consumed by many, is linked to diseases and other health complications. Experts say processed milk, including UHT, is safely packaged and certified for consumption.
The idea of consuming processed milk is good because processed milk is tested on arrival and tested before dispatch. It is also branded. It has the labels, it has the standard, it has the consumer instructions, it has everything.
And the yogurt that we do is low-fat yogurt. So it means a person, whether is diabetic or a fat person or someone who is requiring to healthy purposes, they can take this yogurt. It's referable to both the children, who are the infants, and to the elderly also to the youth. So it does not segregate the age.
Wamala Sydney Mark says proper standards are followed to ensure quality and safety.
And I do emphasize the community to take this milk because it is standardized, it is healthy, it has all the content of what is required in the milk as it is regarding to proteins, regarding to calcium, regarding to all a person or a child needs within the body. They are available in the milk. Uganda's milk consumption remains low, with per capita intake at about 64 litres below the recommended 200 litres. We do have phenol, which goes for 6 months at room temperature. You don't need to refrigerate. You only put them in a cool, dry area on a surface like a pallet, so that they cannot get spoiled. You can drink it as it is because it is okay. There is no bacteria that is present. Then the other type of UHT that we have ESL. ESL extended shelf life packet. That one can stay for 3 months at room temperature.
Experts are also urging vendors to maintain proper storage, especially refrigeration for products like yogurt.
I advise our dear customers, when you have a yogurt, don't take it out of the cold chain. Remember, it has always to be refrigerated. So whenever you do a deviation under that cold chain, that yogurt gets spoiled before the duration time.
A philanthropist, Mugema Michael Jackson of Hope for Katanga Kids Home in the Katanga slum, has committed to transform lives of over 150 vulnerable children living in wanting conditions. We have more details in this report.
Hope for Katanga Kids project is where hope begins from.
From the shadows of Katanga slums arises a generation of hope. It's this Hope for Katanga Kids project, established in 2013 by Mugema Michael Jackson. The children at the home survive on just 1 meal a day, relying heavily on support from well-wishers. Despite these challenges, the project stands as a symbol of resilience, where children continue to dream beyond their circumstances.
But we don't have a permanent sponsor. We always people from the clubs, Lions Club, Makerere University students, some churches are the one, people from the community, from the society, are the one who comes here to help the children. The most challenge you get here is food. We have children from 0 year to 23 years. We have children from baby class to university now. Last year we had 2 students who sit for senior 6.
In a show of charity, the Lions Club of Wakiso Host has donated essential items including scholastic materials, food supplies, clothing and mentorship support. This contribution aims to improve the children's welfare and create better opportunities for their future.
Today we are at Hope for Katanga Kids. We thought about coming to Hope for Katanga Kids because of the condition the children are in. Pick children from the street, those ones who are having no parents. They don't have parents at all. They are on the street. Some of them, their parents they just abandoned them. Some of them, their parents died. So they do not have food at all. They do not have essential things to use, domestic items. They don't have them. So we thought that we should come and give a supporting hand to them.
We are meant to serve, support humanity. There are very many people who are suffering, but again, there are also very many people who can afford. So those who can afford should support those who can't afford.
We know how to weave baskets, we know how to play basketball, and we also know how to build. Even the girls know how to build, because the buildings that you saw, all the buildings, we made them by ourselves. The most challenge we have is food. We only take 1 meal per day, and that's only supper. During breakfast, we take porridge for lunchtime, and only supper as 1 meal per day.
Amid these difficulties, their determination and spirit remain strong. The children are currently all in school.
I came here when I am 4 years old, and when I don't know anything. Now I know some things.
Crispus Arinitwe, reporting for UBC.
When you don't use Momo, you get insulted by strangers. Save yourself from insults. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3# to pay and enjoy 0 charges below 5K. That's the power of Momo.
Life Present and Church, Mombasa, Kenya, welcomes you to a conference of summoning the Holy Spirit, breaking certain bonds and moving in the Lord, slated 25th, 26th April 2026 at Mbali's grounds. Come receive and witness miraculous powers of the Lord as you meet his servant, Pastor Sickle, a man of prophecies.
Jesus! Out!
New Steps, New Year, begins with a decision to attend a mega conference slated 25th, 26th April 2026 and tap into the powers of the Almighty, emboldened by the word of deliverance from Pastor Sickle. Are they dark spirits, witchcraft, dark altars endangering your soul? Come, so Jesus sets you free from 25th, 26th April 2026, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. For more information, call 0776 270 010 or 0701 277 547.
And in the world of sports, Uganda Broadcasting Corporation has participated in the second edition of the Corporate Games Uganda, where over 40 government and non-government entities are taking part. The games are played every second week of the month and will run up to November. UBC has played and won 3 games.
The Corporate Games Uganda are now in their second edition, and UBC has started on a high note, playing 3 games and winning all of them. Thanks to the team coach, Tony Senabulia, who inspires the team. Organizers say they are providing a platform to check and improve staff health, networking and marketing.
That have joined us again. Today we are playing basketball, we are playing football, boxing and soccer. Soccer is a constant for every outing. We're excited that more corporate companies are coming on board for the corporate games. We have over 16 sports disciplines and we play them for the full season for 9 outings. So we encourage all companies to come out and make sure the employees keep healthy and fit too. It's a platform that will enable you to network and market your products.
Very happy to be here at the corporate games, to be part as of course the medical service provider for the games. So our job here is to make sure that all the people that are participating are covered medically, and also that we can also talk to them about their health and how they can better their lifestyle in terms of wellness, in terms of at least once in a while going to the hospital and checking your vitals.
The Public Relations Office of Uganda Broadcasting Corporation explained the reason for UBC's participation in the games as a way to support staff and also to assess the performance levels of UBCFC.
The first weekend of the month where we have the corporate games. This is the second edition we are having in this season, and we are so happy to be here today. So far we have been winning all the games that we have played in soccer, and we are so proud that we are taking on the teams. As UBC, we are here to show support, to support the different entities that are here for the corporate games, and we're also here to check our fitness, to make sure our staff are okay. You know, all the time we're in the field, we are seated, we never get time to go out, exercise. Now this is the time for them to get out there, exercise, around the people, get to know the people. But most especially we are here also to win. That's why for every game we are bringing back a win, which is a beautiful thing for the team that they've been rehearsing for so long, practicing, putting everything together to make sure that they are fit for the corporate games. So
UBC staff led by Peter Otai, the inspiring commentator and manager of 100 Magic FM, together with Henry Baguma, a senior journalist, narrate the experience of the game from a different point of view.
We are very excited to actually be here as a corporation, as UBC. We have actually brought a full force squad here in football. We have so far played 2 matches. We are going for the 3rd match, and we have managed to win all the 2. The basketball team is actually up already in basketball rather. When it comes down to football, we already fielded the team, and the team has actually done very well. So as UBC, we are very proud to be here, and I have to say the boys and the girls have done their best tonight.
I am very excited about these corporate games. My first time to attend this type of thing. But what has excited me most is the performance of UBC. We have performed very well, especially in football, and we have the best team. I did not know that. I would encourage the organizers to have these type of activities regularly because it helps us to keep together, to come together, and also to remain very strong people.
I'm Bantu Machabe Semambo, reporting for UBC.
And in the world of swimming, the second swimming league meet of 2026 has taken place at the Kampala Parent School in Naguru, with many athletes improving their personal best times.
This weekend at the second league meet of the year, swimmers participated in the 400-meter freestyle, 50-meter butterfly, 200-meter breaststroke, 100-meter backstroke, 50-meter freestyle, and the 400-meter individual medley. Tendo Mukalazi, Kyle Kawesa, Paloma Kirabo, Christo Semanda, Benjamin Sali, Michaela Sali, and Manuel Semanda were among the most impressive swimmers this weekend. These league meets are used as qualifying events towards the national championships set for July.
League 2 has been fair. I have achieved the goals that I set, especially for 50 fly. I finally cut time.
The league's very nice because they have been giving us more training because of the league, so it has helped me mostly with the series that I just went for.
The National League 2 is a very important event because it helps us qualify for nationals and gain more points.
I think Geta's performance has been really nice. I hear everyone talking about making PBs and I'm really proud of it, proud of everyone for cutting their times and winning. For my performance, I've been really happy with it, and I was kind of shocked because I haven't been training as much because of exams, but I've still managed to cut my times, and I'm really happy about that.
Junior athletes under the ages of 12 will now be eager to compete at the Dolphins Junior Meet next weekend at the Kampala Parent School in Naguru. Marsha Miro Victor, UBC News.
And from Naguru back to Broadcast House, we would love to say thank you for being a lovely audience. This comes to the end of our bulletin. My name is Wadulo Arnold Mark, and from the team behind the scenes, allow us wish you a new lovely week. Enjoy yourselves and do take care.
UBC Inspire.